Are you kicking around the idea of selling one of your pistols to free up space for the next shiny thing? Stop. Right. There. Some handguns are forever guns, not just because they run like a sewing machine, but because they hold value. And because they shoot so well, you'll miss them the second they're gone. Today, we're counting down the 10 best pistols you should never sell in 2026. Trust me, if you let any of these walk out the door, you're gonna feel it later. All right, let's get into it. Kicking off the list at number 10 is the Glock 19 Gen 5. This one did what almost no pistol ever does. It became the baseline, the universal measuring stick for compact 9mm pistols. And the Gen 5 version is the final form of decades of small upgrades that actually matter. It's the refined version of a design that's been running the market since day one. The specs tell you exactly why it works so well in the real world. You're looking at a 4.02-inch barrel, and you get enhanced polygonal rifling with the Glock Marksman barrel setup. That's where the accuracy bump comes from compared to older generations. Overall length is 7.28 inches. Height is 5.04 inches. Width is 1.34 inches. Weight is just 23.99 ounces with an empty magazine. Standard capacity is 15+1 rounds of 9mm Luger. And yeah, you've got higher capacity mags that work fine. 17 round, 19 round, even 33 round extended options for competition use. Gen 5 also brought the changes people actually asked for. A noticeably better trigger with a consistent 5.5-pound pull, crisper break, shorter reset. Finger grooves are gone, so it fits more hands without forcing you into one grip shape. Front slide serrations help when you're doing manipulations on a sweaty day at the range. Ambidextrous slide stop lever, reversible magazine catch. New price on a Glock 19 Gen 5 is about $629 for the standard model. Why would you never sell it? Because this is the ultimate do-everything pistol. Legendary reliability. Aftermarket support that's basically unmatched, with thousands of accessories. And it works in every lane. Concealed carry, duty use, competition shooting. At number 9 sits the game changer, the SIG Sauer P365. This is the pistol that flipped the micro-compact carry world upside down when it hit in 2018. It smashed the old trade-off, capacity versus concealment, and it created a whole new category of high-capacity micro-compacts that everyone is still chasing years later. This gun proved you don't have to pick one. You can carry enough ammo and still carry a gun that actually hides comfortably. Now look at what they packed into this thing. Overall length is just 5.88 inches. Barrel is 3.1 inches. Height is 4.3 inches. And it's only 1 inch wide. That's why it disappears so easily. Unloaded weight is about 17.8 ounces, but it still carries 10+1 rounds with the flush magazines. And you can step up to 12-round and 15-round magazines that add very little length. It's chambered in 9mm Luger, and it's rated for +P ammo, which matters when you're talking real defensive capability. Trigger is striker fired around 6 pounds with a clean break and a short reset. For a micro-compact, that's impressive. Sights are SIG X-ray 3-day night sights from the factory. Green tritium front with an orange contrast ring. Green rear tritium lamps, so you can actually see what you're doing in all lighting conditions. The slide is stainless steel with a nitron coating for corrosion resistance and durability. New price for the standard P365 is about $599, and current production guns are proving extremely reliable. Plenty of owners report 5,000 to 10,000 plus rounds without malfunctions. This is the perfect always gun. It gets carried because it vanishes under pretty much anything, but it still gives you serious defensive firepower you can trust when it counts. At number 8, we've got the CZ75 series. A lot of people will argue this is the finest production double-action, single-action handgun ever made. It was designed in 1975 in Czechoslovakia, right in the Cold War era, and it nails the big three: ergonomics, accuracy, reliability, all in a steel gun that just shoots smooth and flat. And the influence is real. You can see CZ75 DNA in a ton of pistols over the last 50 years. The original CZ75B specs are still strong today. Barrel is 4.6 inches. Overall length is 8.1 inches. Height is 5.4 inches. Width is about 1.4 inches. Unloaded weight on the steel frame models is about 35 ounces, and that extra weight helps soak up recoil and keep you honest on fast strings. Capacity is 16 plus 1 rounds of 9mm Luger. Trigger system is classic double action, single action. Double action pull is around 10 to 12 pounds. Single action is around 4.5 to 5.5 pounds. And with break-in and normal maintenance, it gets smoother over time. One of the coolest design points is the slide riding inside the frame rails. Most pistols ride outside. This setup drops the bore axis. Less muzzle flip, less felt recoil, and it helps accuracy potential. Ergonomics are world-class. That grip angle and shape fits a ton of hands like it was made for them. And modern variants cover different missions. The standard 75B, the compact P01, and the competition-focused Shadow 2 with an improved trigger and adjustable sights. New price for a CZ75B is about $649, and the Shadow 2 deserves a spotlight here. It dominates USPSA production and IPSC standard worldwide. Multiple world championships, a pile of regional wins. That's real proof of competition pedigree. And that factory trigger, after proper break-in, can hang with custom pistols that cost thousands more. Accuracy is excellent. Reliability is absolute. At number 7 is the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. This is American polymer framework done right. M&P stands for military and police. And over nearly 2 decades, Smith kept refining the platform into something that goes toe-to-toe with Glock. But with its own strengths, a lot of shooters genuinely prefer the ergonomics and the trigger feel. This pistol is proof that U.S. manufacturers can compete with imported guns, and in plenty of cases exceed them. The M&P 2.0 specs show the upgrades over the original M&P. Full-size barrel is 4.25 inches. Overall length is 7.4 inches. Height is 5.5 inches. Width is 1.2 inches. Unloaded weight is about 24.5 ounces. Light enough for all-day carry, but still has enough heft to manage recoil without feeling snappy. Capacity is strong. 17 plus 1 in the full-size models. 15 plus 1 in the compact versions. Trigger is striker-fired and improved a lot over the first generation. Pull weight is about 5.5 to 6.5 pounds. You get a crisp break and a short reset, and that aggressive grip texture locks your hands in, but it's not miserable during long-range sessions. New price for an M&P 2.0 is about $499 for the standard model. The M&P 2.0 line has been adopted by plenty of law enforcement agencies worldwide, and it keeps proving itself in duty use, where reliability is non-negotiable. Aftermarket support is growing fast. Holsters, sights, accessories. More options every year. And Smith & Wesson customer service and warranty support are excellent. That matters when you're putting your money into an American-made firearm. At number 6 is the Beretta 92 series, especially the M9, the U.S. military standard sidearm from 1985 to 2017. This pistol replaced the legendary 1911, and it brought Italian craftsmanship with serious reliability and great ergonomics in a full-size duty handgun. It's been proven in real harsh conditions, multiple wars, multiple conflicts, Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan. The Beretta 92 FS specs show a robust design built to exceed military requirements. Barrel is 4.9 inches. Overall length is 8.5 inches. Height is 5.4 inches. Width is 1.5 inches. Unloaded weight is about 33.3 ounces. That weight helps with the already mild 9mm recoil. Capacity is 15 plus 1 rounds of 9mm Luger, and you can run 17-round and 18-round magazines if you want the most capacity. Trigger is double action, single action, about 12 pounds in double action, about 5.5 pounds in single action. The 92 series also uses an open slide design. That's a reliability feature. It lets debris clear out instead of locking things up. And the locking block system is extremely robust. These pistols routinely cross 50,000 rounds before they need parts replaced. And there are documented military M9 pistols that went past 100,000 rounds. That's insane durability. New price for a Beretta 92 FS is about $699. These things run forever with minimal maintenance. A lot of civilian owners report 30,000 plus rounds with no parts replacement beyond recoil springs. Parts availability is excellent because of decades of military contracts worldwide, meaning you can keep one running for generations. Before we hit the top 5, I've got to ask you a quick favor. If this video is helping you out and you're getting value from it, hit that like button right now. It seriously helps the channel grow, and it tells me you want more content like this. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit subscribe. Turn on notifications too, because we've got detailed reviews of every pistol on this list coming soon, plus comparison videos, plus range tests. Your support means everything to this channel. All right, back to the countdown. Here are the top 5. At number 5 is the Heckler & Koch 5P9. This is German engineering done in a modern, striker-fired package. Heckler & Koch brought that obsessive attention to detail, the kind of quality control they built from decades of military and law enforcement contracts, and they used it to make a polymer frame pistol that raised the bar on ergonomics, accuracy, and reliability. The VP9 specs show that precision. Standard model has a 4.09-inch cold hammer forged polygonal barrel. Overall length is 7.34 inches. Height is 5.41 inches. Width is 1.32 inches. Weight with an empty magazine is 25.56 ounces. Balance is excellent. Capacity is 17 plus 1 rounds with the updated magazines. Those are upgraded from the original 15-round versions. And the VP9 trigger is special. A lot of folks call it the best factory striker-fired trigger you can get on a production pistol. Pull weight is about 5.1 pounds. Short, light take-up, a solid single-action style break, then a short positive reset. Ergonomics are top tier. You get interchangeable back straps and side panels. That gives you 27 different grip combinations, so you can fit just about any hand size. Charging supports on the rear of the slide make manipulation easy, even with wet hands or gloves, and it uses a paddle-style magazine release. Once you learn it, it's fast and instinctive. But yeah, it's different from the typical American button release. New price for a VP9 is about $749. This pistol blends German precision with practical features that matter on the range. Trigger quality beats a lot of competitors. Accuracy is excellent, and Heckler & Koch build quality is the kind that outlasts the owner. These are true lifetime investments you can hand down. Number 04, Walther PDP. The Walther PDP, the performance duty pistol, is another example of modern German striker-fired excellence. It was introduced in February 2021 as the successor to the PPK, and a lot of experts call it the best factory striker-fired trigger on the market today. Full-size model has a 4.5-inch cold hammer forged barrel. Overall length is 8 inches. Height is 5.7 inches. Width is 1.34 inches. Weight is about 25.4 ounces with an empty magazine. Capacity is 18 plus 1 rounds of 9mm Luger. The compact version runs a 4-inch barrel with 15 plus 1 capacity. That trigger gives you a crisp 5.6-pound break. Travel is only 0.28 inches. Reset is extremely short. Walther added features that stand out immediately when you handle it. Super terrain slide serrations for grip, performance duty texture that stays locked in without slipping, and optics-ready slides from the factory with mounting plates included. You also get 3 interchangeable back straps to dial in the fit. The ergonomics are built with red dot use in mind. Grip angles, palm swells, all designed to support that setup. Adopted by German Special Forces in 2024, the PDP shows it can run under extreme conditions. Original price is about $649 for the standard full-size model. That's a lot of pistol for the money, especially for a premium German-made gun. At number 3 is the classic Walther PPK/S, the Bond gun. The gentleman's carry pistol that's represented style and reliability for more than 90 years. James Bond made it famous in film after film, but even without the pop culture, it's still a serious piece of engineering. It's timeless, it's compact, and it has that all-metal feel modern polymer guns just can't replicate. The PPK/S specs show compact perfection. Barrel is 3.3 inches. Overall length is 6.1 inches. Height is 4.3 inches. Width is a slim 1 inch. That's why it works so well for deep concealment. Weight is about 21 ounces for stainless models, about 19 ounces for alloy frames. Modern versions are chambered in 380A CP with 7+1 capacity, and also 22 long rifle with 10+1 capacity. All metal construction with a double-action, single-action trigger system gives you that traditional shooting experience. And the fixed barrel design boosts accuracy potential. That steel weight also helps tame recoil, so the 380 version is surprisingly pleasant to shoot for such a small gun. New price for a Walther PPK/S is about $699 for standard stainless models. This isn't just a firearm, it's cultural history you can hold in your hand. The film legacy matters. The class factor is real, and that's why it's irreplaceable in a collection. Build quality is excellent. Tight tolerances, smooth operation. These often turn into family heirlooms that get passed down. Carry it or display it. Either way, a PPK/S is timeless elegance in a world of plastic pistols that all blur together. At number 2 is the SIG Sauer P226. This is one of the finest full-size service pistols ever made anywhere. It was originally built for the U.S. military pistol trials in the 1980s. That's where it went up against the Beretta 92. Since then, it's served in military and law enforcement roles all over the world, and it's still the benchmark for double-action, single-action pistols. The P226 specs are Swiss-German engineering refined for decades. Standard barrel is 4.4 inches. Overall length is 7.7 inches. Height is 5.5 inches. Width is 1.5 inches. Unloaded weight is about 34 ounces with all metal construction. Capacity is 15+1 rounds of 9mm, and you can run 20-round extended magazines for competition or duty use. Trigger is double action, single action, about 10 pounds in double action, then a crisp 4.4 pounds in single action. All metal build gives you serious durability and excellent recoil control. New price for a P226 is about $1,099 for standard models. This gun is famous for reliability, accuracy, and lifespan. It's common to see these go past 100,000 rounds with minimal parts replacement beyond springs. That's not hype. That's long-term proof. Trigger feel is excellent. Ergonomics are world-class. Accuracy can rival custom pistols that cost way more, and U.S. Navy SEALs carried the P226 for decades. That says a lot about combat reliability and durability. Elite law enforcement agencies worldwide have trusted it as a duty pistol too. And number 1 on the list of pistols you should absolutely never sell is the Staccato C2. This is a handcrafted masterpiece, the top tier of what a carry pistol can be. You get 1911 ergonomics. You get that 1911 trigger character, but you also get modern high capacity, and you get real no excuses reliability with premium level manufacturing. That's why it costs what it costs. The Staccato C2 specs feel like custom-grade engineering in something you can actually buy. Barrel is 3.9 inches, match-grade bull barrel. Overall length is 7.1 inches. Height is 5.4 inches. Width is 1.3 inches. Unloaded weight is about 25 ounces on the aluminum frame model. That's light for a double-stack pistol. Capacity is 16+1 rounds with flush-fit magazines. Every component is hand-fit by skilled craftsmen at Staccato's Texas facility. That's how you get those tight tolerances the right way. Trigger breaks at exactly 4 to 4.5 pounds.